Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. I am Lord Redfern, and today we're going to be talking about this, the Oblivion Remastered Update 1.2. It's been quite a while since we have had any kind of news or update from Bethesda around the updates to the Oblivion Remaster, although it is quite nice to see that it is here. Now, while I haven't actually read this post by Bethesda on X, I did skim it very quickly, and I can tell you it's quite large. There are actually quite a few things in here in terms of fixes and gameplay and performance and changes, so it is quite cool to see this amount of things coming to the game that we all desperately need. The game desperately needs it, of course, for performance improvements. Definitely, the game absolutely needs it. But on top of that, there are a lot of gameplay changes and gameplay fixes as well, which is what the last update was mainly focused on. So without further ado, we're going to get into this. I'm going to have a bit of a read here. So this, of course, is the Oblivion Remastered Update 1.2. And we've got the opening paragraph here. In Update 1.2, we've focused on various fixes for quests, gameplay, and performance. In addition, we've included several damage settings to allow you to fine-tune your play experience. While 1.2 won't roll out to all platforms just yet, we will be able to experience this update on our Steam beta later today. So if you really, really want to, you can download this, where you can go into your Oblivion Remastered settings on Steam, go to properties, and you can basically kind of enroll or accept the beta version of this update. But I would recommend only doing that if you're going to be looking for bugs, looking to see if the update has actually worked, and kind of providing Bethesda with some feedback, because it is a beta. That means not everything is going to be working as intended. So see the full list of changes coming up with 1.2 below. Setting changes. We've added additional difficulty settings to allow players to further tune their player combat damage and enemy combat damage. Players can now select from Novice, Apprentice, Adept, Journeyman, Expert, and Master options in the gameplay menu. We hope the Journeyman setting specifically will act as a better bridge between Adept and Expert for players. I know probably quite a few people are going to be quite happy about that, because it seemed like before, just putting the game onto Expert was just too hard. Like, you could very easily die to, it was just too easy. Whereas you would barely do enough damage to any enemy, and enemies could do substantial amounts of damage to you. So people will probably quite welcome that change. Okay, we're now into the UI fixes. So, fixed map markers from disappearing. I didn't know that was a thing. Fixed missing punctuation in simplified Chinese text. Fixed toggle all button on map screen to work as a hold. Various fixes to localized text. Fixed controller issues in spellmaking menu. Fixed menus being cropped incorrectly in the 1280 by 1024 aspect resolution. Fix the incorrect player stance in the inventory menu after fast travel. Fixed rebinding keys for lockpicking. Fixed keybinds not updating in AZERTY. I'm assuming that's a form of keyboard layout for QWERTY, but not QWERTY. Fixed soft lock with controller in enchanting menu. Fixed stats not updating when equipping enchanted items. And fixed a character skin glitch when closing the inventory menu. So those are your main UI fixes. And we're now onto the crashes, which is the thing people are probably going to mostly focus on. Fixed crashes that could occur while fighting jigger lag. I did myself experience quite a few of these crashes. I think I had to reload the checkpoint I had right before the jigger lag fight. I'd say a good 6 or 7 times before I was able to finally kill him without the game crashing, and I made sure to save very quickly straight after killing him as well. Fixed crashing when killing a paralyzed NPC with an arrow. Fixed crashing when paralyzing an already paralyzed NPC. Fixed crashing in spellmaking menu when rapidly removing and implementing effects. Fixed various GPU crashes, and fixed crashes that could occur during autosaves. So those are your big crashes there. I think clearly, obviously, a lot of people have probably dealt with the jigger lag crash, which is why that one seems to be quite specific. As with the paralyzed NPC kills with an arrow, and paralyzing an already paralyzed NPC. Onto audio now. Fixed underwater SFX persisting after leaving exiting water. After leaving exiting water. Wow. Okay, but yeah, I have experienced that myself as well. The audio could be really, really bugged, and it actually made you like being underwater and having that kind of SFX applied to the sound of the game. It was nice when you're underwater, but as soon as you were out of water and you were walking around the forests and stuff, it felt like something was wrong with your ears. It actually felt like maybe you'd got like too much earwax in your ears, and it was a really peculiar bug to experience. And fixed missing ambient SFX in the Shivering Isles. I have also experienced that quite a lot as well. Okay, we're now onto the quests part of the thread. Fixed NPCs floating after being knocked down during Priory of the Nine quest. Fixed crashing when entering flooded mine during the Final Justice quest. Fixed pathing in Chalets in flooded mine, 4 Chalets in flooded mine during Final Quest Justice quest. Fixed crashing when opening gate to the Fringe during retaking the Fringe quest. Fixed mages loading without clothes in Fort Ontus during the Necromancer's Amulet quest. Fixed NPC pathing issues in Gardens of Flesh and Bone during Through the Fringe of Madness quest. Fixed missing VFX during the closing of the Great Gate, which I have also experienced. Fixed I Love Draugona's missing facial animation during the Saving Time Itself quest. Fixed Sir Threadit's speech during Umaril the Unfeathered quest. Fixed NPC pathing issues during Baiting the Trap quest. Fixed obelisk crystals spawning disconnected during Baiting the Trap quest. Fixed crash at the end of Through a Nightmare Darkly quest. Fixed wall crumbling in Malada during Nothing You Can Process quest. Fixed misaligned food at the Castle Leowin County Hall dinner party during the Sanguine quest. Fixed an issue with visibility of ghosts during Ghost of Vithran. Fixed cutscene not playing during Light of the Dragon Fires. And finally, fixed missing textures in Cropsford campsite after finishing Goblin Trouble. I hope you guys don't mind me actually reading out every single one of the fixes instead of just going, here they are, pause the video. Obviously, there could be some people that maybe just want to listen and rather not watch. But hopefully some of these quests ring a few bells with you guys. Hopefully that means that you've heard a quest or two that maybe you had some problems with and you experienced probably crashings with or issues with them. And hopefully that means that those quests are now sorted, which would be quite nice. Okay, this is a big one. Performance. Fixed frame rate drop in Deepscorn Hollow. Fixed frame rate drops in the Black Rock Caverns. Fixed frame rate drops between Skingrad and Skingrad Castle. Fixed FPS drop south of Breville Castle Courtyard. Reduce the frequency of hitches in the open world. I'm assuming that potentially means when you go from one cell of the world to another. People were experiencing quite bad frame rate drops with that, so hopefully that's what that means. General improvements to frame time in many locations. That was a big thing that Digital Foundry picked up on. So hopefully they'll be doing a video after this update is officially live. I don't know whether they'll do a video on the frame time with just the beta. I don't know. Maybe they'll wait till the update is actually officially out. Optimize updating of character attachments. Optimize rendering of water volumes in the open world. Optimize light/shadow updates in several layers. Optimize waterfall particle FX and rendering. Optimize the weather system. Optimize character animation system. So it sounds like quite a few good things there. Optimizations, reducements of issues, and actually outright fixing frame rate issues. That's really, really cool to see. So hopefully that means the game just overall will be just simply more playable, a smoother experience, and you'll be maintaining a high amount of FPS, and the frame time will be far more stable. So we're definitely going to have to check this out to definitely see if these issues have absolutely worked. Onto gameplay now. Fixed player character height scaling. Fixed armor items hiding Argonian and Khajiit tails. Fixed slow camera movement when initiating NPC dialogue. Fixed soft lock when a player with a high bounty goes to jail. Fixed orrery animations. Fixed physics bug with floating necklaces. I've experienced that myself. Fixed vampire sleeping animations. Fixed NPC beers not following facial animations. Fixed ghost NPCs being completely invisible. Is it ironic that they have to fix a ghost being completely invisible? I mean, obviously, I know it's a game and ghosts are supposed to be visible, but of course, slightly translucent. But isn't it ironic that ghosts are supposed to be invisible completely, obviously, in just general folklore, in the real world, so to speak, and they have to fix them not being invisible? Fixed missing animation when talking to Shamada in Leowin. Fixed occasional very long load times when fast travelling. Fixed missing facial animations for Snack Gra Bura. Fixed falling unconscious in water preventing player from getting up. That's an interesting one. Fixed NPCs losing collision when swimming. Fixed NPCs stopping combat when player is blocking. Fixed female Dremora teeth clipping. Fixed soft lock after choosing player class. Fixed amber weapons clipping in first-person view. I think I've experienced that one as well. Fixed vines clipping into columns. Fixed helmets clipping into player character's head. Fixed missing textures on Daedric statues. Fixed duplicated pages between Ogma Infinium and Mysterium Xarxes. Okay, so those are some pretty solid changes there as well. Big fan of that. Okay, system. So this is system-wide changes, so this could be quite big. Obviously, we didn't get many PC system side changes in the last update. It seemed to be definitely more tailored and focused towards consoles. So hopefully we're going to have some things in here for us PC players. Fixed flickering shadows when using XeSS upscaling, which I can't imagine is a large amount of people because, of course, that's Intel's based upscaler. And, of course, most people out there are either using DLSS or using FFS. I can never say it. AMD's upscaler, FSR. There you go. Fixed title properly restarting after purchasing the deluxe upgrade on PC. Fixed settings properly migrating between PC and Xbox. Fixed water disappearing after fast travel. Fixed cursor slowdown when enabling high frame rate fixed cursor slowdown when enabling high frame rate VSync, which you should definitely have VSync turned off if you're on PC. Fixed shaders not preloading due to cloud save replication. Fixed long blackout during loadout screens. Fixed weather VFX flashing while outside. Fixed motion blur artifacts while in the Oblivion plane. Fixed NPCs not obeying the wait action from player. Okay, so those are some big system changes there. These will obviously tie in with the performance changes as well. I've seen that they've mentioned weather quite a few times as well. So obviously it's starting to sound like the weather system of the game was outright causing quite a few big issues. So I'm hoping, obviously, with these system changes and obviously with the performance changes in regards to weather specifically, that could be quite a big thing that we'll have to definitely check out in game. Okay, and that's the end of the list. This update will be in the Steam beta, as I have said. If you would like to opt into the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered beta update, please follow these instructions. So these are the instructions for how you can do it. So like you say, if you're on Steam, you right-click Oblivion Remastered and then click on Properties, and then in the New Properties pop-up window, select Betas, and in the beta drop-down, you can opt into and then select the beta and wait for app to download new build and launch. For those participating and interested in providing feedback, please visit our Discord. So if you are on PC and you are going to be trying out the beta version of this update, that is Bethesda's Discord right there. I'll try to remember to link this in the description of this video for anybody who actually wants to go and join Bethesda Studios Discord. I do highly recommend actually just being in it anyway, because it's just a really, really cool place to experience some kind of camaraderie with other people who are playing the game. And of course, like you say, you can keep up to date on various things that are going on with the game. There's developers inside that Discord as well that you can talk to, and you can raise awareness of various issues in the game. And of course, definitely, if you're trying out this beta update and you're experiencing certain issues, new issues, or even existing issues that have not been fixed by this beta update, or just this update in general, that is the place to go and make those things known to the devs. I do believe they actually have a couple of channels quite literally dedicated to updates of the game, beta updates of the game, bugs as well. So yeah, that is your 1.2 update. So yeah, we don't know obviously when it will come out, but the fact that it's come out in beta already, that's really, really good to see, really good to hear. There's some really, really good things in there that I've read. I know a lot of people who weren't happy about the last update are going to be quite happy about this update, because the last update, we basically saw, outside of console related topics, it was just fixes. That was it. But it wasn't fixes to performance or system improvements or audio, really, like that. It was more fixes to gameplay things, fixes to quests. So a lot of people felt like it missed the mark, and it took 7 weeks for that first update to come out after the game had officially launched, I think, if I'm remembering that correctly. So not a lot of people were really happy with that update. Obviously, those people on console were quite happy about it because it did actually solve some performance issues on console, but this is substantially better from Bethesda. I'm personally quite happy with all these changes. It seems like they've really knuckled down and focused on some of the issues that were genuinely causing the game to just be unplayable. Especially, you know, it can be quite jarring and quite mood killing if you're playing the game and it's just crash after crash after crash, or you're playing a quest and you just can't progress that quest any further because of various things are blocking you, or just causing the game to crash or just freeze up. It's just not fun. I think the player count for the game has dropped quite significantly since it released, and people got that initial kind of it's back kind of feeling out the way. I know personally I stopped playing the game after I beat the main quest, and of course other quests that I was just trying to pursue, things just weren't working out correctly, things were crashing, things were freezing. It just wasn't very fun at all. Of course, a big update, a big thing to note for people who have their game modded. If you do download the beta version of this update, that is going to break a lot of your mods, if not all of your mods. And of course, a note for anybody who isn't going to be downloading this update, when this does come out, be prepared to not be able to play your game with your mods, because those mods are going to break and will probably not work. There could be some mods that do work, but you are going to have to wait for your mods to be updated by their mod authors so that they match this version of the game. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining me. For those who you do watch, let me know in the comments down below what you think of this update. Do you think these are really, really good changes? Do you think that there should have been more? And yeah, just let me know your feelings on all of this. I have been Lord Redfern, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for joining me, and stay safe, guys.